Storytelling Ron. I'm just gonna do a political rant this morning, Monday morning, and then we'll then I gotta go do some writing and work on my armor and rehabilitate my knee. Got it crunched over the weekend when I was fighting, but that's okay. All right. The Lord is still allowing me to walk on it, so I want to talk about the Biden thing. I should talk about the Trump assassination, but I don't know. I just let me just go to the Biden thing. So we all knew Biden was messed up. We knew he was not able. He's not running the country. The elites are these Democrat elites. Obama. I believe it's Obama. Whoever else. I don't even. We don't. Do we to this day even know who his staff, chief of White House staff, like the staff is? I don't even know who they are. I don't see them. I've never just seen them in any sort of news report or on a coming out to do a news press thing. I mean, there's a couple of them I've seen, but I've never seen. I just don't know who's in the meetings with him. Like, have we ever seen a picture of him in a meeting with people in the White House, like in that whatever the room is? I've just never seen that. Joe Biden is not actually running the country, so this is like unconstitutional. I think he is supposed to be the leader. If everyone else is writing the executive orders, if they're writing his his resignation letter, and he's just signing things, when they're even questioning whether he's actually signing it. That's unconstitutional. That's illegal. So what the Democrats are getting away with is illegal. But here's the thing. Here, this guy says, had Biden not agreed to do any presidential debate. Oh, thank you, Peter Heck and Not the Bee. I kind of start with them and go to Gateway Pundit and do some other things. Had Biden not agreed to do an early presidential debate, which exposed his frailty, would he still be running? So the debates exposed him as being frail, but he was frail and in cognitive decline the entire time, right? The last 4 years, and we've been conservatives, and we have been. I don't like that we mocked Biden because I felt we were wasting time. We should have been saying who's actually running the country, and asking that over and over and over. The media hit it, and they knew it. They're pretending they didn't know. That's ridiculous. If they didn't know, then they're not good to be the media. Or they hit it. They're not good. They shouldn't be the media. They should be. You lose your media credentials. We need to, I don't, I'm not a government person who wants to control them, but this is ridiculous. Ladies and gentlemen, let's revisit the supercut from 12 days ago. Well done, mainstream media. So this is just his constant decline. Or it's not even decline. He was already disabled, and this is throughout the years. And the media claiming that he's perfectly, aware. And of course, this guy, Joe Scarborough, at the beginning here saying, F you if you don't really listen to me now. If you don't believe me, F you. He is the most, capable he has ever been. The real crisis is who the heck is running it? And why are we all just sitting here accepting it? Why is the Republican Party accepting it? That's one thing that's bothering me. Now I know that a couple of them are screaming and trying to get to the bottom of this, but the media, who's still controlled by the left, because they're roadblock. They will not bring this up. Now, why do I say that the left controls the media? I mean, there's plenty of right-wing media. I'm not doing that. I'm not saying that. But the thing is, the left-wing media is in complete whatever. I'm losing my brain cells. See, I'm getting cognitive decline. The media is in collusion with the left. So they're just and they're in collusion with the Department of Justice, such that they follow each other's rules or commands or whatever. So they're not gonna do anything without the Democrats deciding what to do. It's not a matter of them being independently minded. In the Republican Party, you have independently minded people. I mean, look at Trump's Department of Justice, right? He couldn't get them to do anything. They were all cowardly, wacko, and submissive to the left, even the ones that were Republican and conservative. That was depressing. And the media screamed, "Oh, how dare the Department of Justice do what the president says?" Then, of course, when a Democrat comes in, the the attorney general will do whatever the Democrat Party says and whatever the president says. Of course, we're not running against a candidate. We're running against the system. The deep state is, y'all can see it now. Y'all see. Here's something that cracks me up. I mean, sort of. They have so botched everything. They have botched the economy. They have botched the energy. They have botched the border. Their international stuff is ridiculous. Are they at all embarrassed by how pathetic they are? I mean, I know they're not, because that's what evil is. Evil is not ever embarrassed or ashamed about the obvious ridiculousness of what they are doing and how destructive they are. They're not embarrassed at all. I know Democrats personally who are not embarrassed. They don't talk about the way they're embarrassed is they just don't, they're too above the politics to talk about it right now. How ridiculous it is, right? No one's going to bring up the assassination. No one's going to bring up this Biden thing. No one brought up the debate. They go mute, right? They don't even want to talk about it. It's just, ridiculous. And Kamala is, she's just going to be another puppet. They're trying to figure out if she's going to be the right puppet, is what they're trying to do right now. They're, the Democrats and the entire Democrat Party is accepting that, because if the Democrats can sacrifice the unborn, what then is their limit? What then is the limit of the left? If they can sacrifice the unborn, they can stand up in their New York Congress and cheer about that all the way past birth. If they can lay a child down and let it die after a failed abortion, and it comes out and they let it die through the elements slowly as it cries until it dies, what then is their limit? What is the limit of the left? I mean, really, if they can sacrifice the unborn, what is their limit? I just want to go through a few, the reason I'm sort of showing this is like, there's so much hypocrisy with what they do that it doesn't matter to them. The Mayorkas appoints Trump hater to an independent review panel on Trump assassination attempt. Did we just witness a coup? Joe Biden resigns from 24 race with tweet on X that was not posted on official letterhead, and his signature is being questioned. If they sacrifice the unborn, if they are godless, then they don't follow the rule, thou shalt not bear false witness, right? They can all join together in a lie. They can all join together in a lie that they know that you know, but they continue to lie. I have experienced that firsthand with atheists when I used to go try to debate atheists. They would lie upon lie upon lie. Even after you addressed the first lie, they would move on to the next lie. They would not concede the first lie. They would just move on to the next lie. I mean, I had a guy compare, this is evolution. That was when I really went into debating atheists. He would say that we were equal to gorillas. In some cases they were stronger than us. And I'm like, anyway, another one was like, I was trying to explain how the Japanese honeybee, how it was, it could defeat the assassin hornet, and with the temperature thing, and they would surround it and vibrate to a certain temperature to kill the assassin hornet because of how big it was. But if they went in too far, they would kill themselves. And so they went to a certain degree, and then killed it, and then got away, and then did the next one. How could they learn? How could that like randomly evolve? And he said, and he doesn't believe in God, right? So then he said, well, it's an invisible force guided them. That was his solution. An invisible force guided them. Another one was saying like, no, I don't believe in God, but but empathy. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Well, empathy is what we all run on. Like empathy is what gets us all to be good. I'm like, well, that's like a God then. You're just saying you don't believe in Jesus Christ, but you believe in empathy. You're just replacing God with empathy, which is you're acting like it's an entity. They just go on and on and on. They, and then one guy, I'm going to go on another one. Another guy was like, evolution is true because all these scientists all agree that it's true. I'm like, what? And I'm trying to tell him all these points, like factual points about creation and all that. He's like, no, but in the end, he said, The reason evolution is true is because all these scientists, all of them believe in it. It's like he thinks it's a communist democracy, where you all have to vote one way, or he doesn't realize how many get kicked out if they even question it. But they don't care. They all believe in the lie and will continue down that lie. And here's the thing where they're comparing the signatures on this executive order, and who really types out these executive orders? Because it's not Joe Biden, and he's been pumping out some executive orders, And same under Obama. Under Obama, they would push these laws that were 1,000 pages long, when you have the representatives or senators will make these laws, right? But they're supposed to be a page long, or laws or regulations or whatever. But under the Democrats, they would come out laws which were 900 pages, and then no one had time to read them, and they did that on purpose. And all the Democrats pulled the lever. Yep, that's what we want. And so all this deep state rules and regulations are killing us. It's all these 900-page, I don't know, a score of them being passed every year by the Democrats. And these rules and regulations go out to all these deep state, the chevrons, all the different regulators, and then they go across America and just start destroying us. Just start throwing, and you got your little donut shop that you're running, and suddenly you've broken a law that you don't even aware of, and it shuts you down, maybe not permanently, because, we'll work it out, but only 3 months. Just enough to destroy you. But then they'll, you know what, we'll go ahead and let you go, because, not a big deal, but, your shop's already destroyed. That's what they do. And they were made, I'm a Calvinist, right? So they were made that way. They were made that way. They will not, I think we're all AIs under God. God made some of us good, God made some of us evil. That's because why would people choose tyranny? Why would they choose lies and deceptions unless they were made that way? Why would they choose the sacrifice of the unborn unless they were made that way? I believed in abortion forever until I became a Christian, or until God finally called me and started my programming correctly. And now I'm like, wow, how did I don't even know who I was in the past. I can't, if I went to see myself from 20 years ago, about 30 years ago, I don't even think I could convince myself, I was radical back then. Gays, trans, abortion, all that, and evolution, all that. And anyway, so the left is just full on. They're okay with lying. And here, let me go to this guy. This is on Twitch here. So this guy here is he's actually under our JFK. He runs the JFK, or he's part of the JFK team. But he says, "I love my damn family, but you're not going to convince me." Actually, let me go ahead and just go to it. I love my damn family, but you're not going to convince me it's okay to literally change the DNC rules in the bylaws committee. So they changed it, for this whole Biden thing, and rigged the primary election to circumvent damn candidates. They did this under Hillary. Why not? Why not break the rules on the left? Cover a serious health matter. The Democrat Party knew he was ill. His staff knew he was ill and not capable of running the country. This is unconstitutional. It says in the Constitution that if you're incapable, you got to get out. They got to move you out. And if they're hiding it, and the only reason it was exposed is because he foolishly did a debate. If he hadn't done the debate, he would have continued on in this unable to run the office, and the Democrats would have been running everything. And that's not who you voted for. The most votes in American history, supposedly, because Trump just got the most in the 2020 election, and at the end of election night, Trump had the most votes ever in history, and suddenly that night after him, Biden got more somehow. Convince me it's okay to get through the primary, withdraw, and now tell me who the nominee should be. Nope, not okay. Well, it's unconstitutional, and I think it's illegal in the election process too, because there are rules set up for the election process. Whoever voted him in the primary of the Democrat primary voted in the same Joe Biden that you see right now. So they were lied to about him, and I think they also accepted the lie, right? But they follow that mainstream media. They follow the Democrat Party. That's all they listen to. and they were lied to. You guys were lied to, and yet here you are, wondering why. You know, what? Why is he quitting now? Oh, he's in cognitive decline now? Really? You think he's just in cognitive decline now? Half of the media, the conservative side, was telling you, joking about it and mocking him, which I think was the bad part. I think they should have been more serious about that. And now the Democrat Party elites are going to pick your candidate, but of course they're also going to pick who counts the votes, right? Most of the election officials are Democrat, I bet you. Even in Republican areas, I bet you most of the election officials are Democrat, because Democrats love government. They love working in government. They love being a social worker, a government worker, where they don't have to really produce anything. They just sit there and get their check and get their health care and get their welfare check practically, because they're all unionized and they don't really have to. They just have to. I don't even know if they even have to show up for work, but they don't have to do actual work. It's a government job. You don't have to do actual work at a government job. I think the most skillful thing they have is whining. So that's my take on all this. My little aggro, messed up little Monday morning take on this, because I gotta get some work done. But this is like, man, the Democrats just suck. They just suck. All right, I gotta get back to For the Lord RPG. But this is just, this whole thing, Trump's assassination, Biden bowing out, all of them, all their little talks and shenanigans about all of this is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And it's going to keep going on too. It's going to go on and on. Even after, if Trump gets elected, because I don't even know how with the amount of, here, I'm going to say about the 2020 election, that this is a fact about that. The rules for the process of the election process was changed, because of the plague, was changed because of the plague, and that is actually unconstitutional. They changed the election process, like mail-in ballots and more than one day and all that stuff. The election officials changed them, but that is not what an election official can do. An election official has to follow the law, and the law is created by the Congress of each state, whatever state assembly or whatever. The election process is created by the actual elected people, not by the officials who are supposed to run the election based off of those laws. But for the 2020, the election officials changed the election process in many states, and blue states especially, which is actually unconstitutional statewide and federally. That's the part that I'm like, why did they get away with that? Why did they get away with changing the entire election process that has been, running for whatever, I don't know if it's 200 years, but whatever, since the U.S. has been going? They changed everything about it. The voter ID thing, the one-day election, mail-in ballots for everybody kind of thing. That is not, you can't do that without the Congress actually setting that up. And they did it. And that's like illegal. That's unconstitutional. That's literally unconstitutional. You can't do that. But they did it. And everyone just went along with it, including Mike Pence, including many Republicans. And that's the part where I'm like, what the heck? We don't even have to go to Dominion and all that. We know out in the open that they changed the election process without going through Congress. That is unconstitutional, and that has ruined that election for me. So that's an unconstitutional election, and I pray that history will remember this. And I don't know if they will, because Democrats seem to run everything and own everything and run the media and run the public schools. So that's an amazing thing. Now, what's the solution? Like I've always said, I think if you think about it, the biggest problem we have in America is the church is weak. The church is not coming out and addressing the evils of our land. The Christian church, you certainly don't want that, and it's being replaced. It's replaced by paganism, which is what my channel is about the RPG culture. It's being replaced by Islam. It's being replaced by secularism, which is paganism. It's all paganism. The church needs to be stronger, and the main issue then is, are we going to church? Are we supporting a church? Are we building up a church? And are we making sure that the pastor of that church is strong? and actually addressing these issues and supporting that pastor so that they can do that, and that the church is supporting the people of the church so that we can go out and rebuke and the populace, the politics. The politics is the people of the city. We need to rebuke the politics of the, of our area, city councils, school councils, and all that. That's what the church needs to do. It needs to go out and confront. Doesn't mean we're going to win everything, and we're not throwing stones, because we're not supposed to throw stones, but we need to confront sin and expose it. And when you do that, evil will submit. It will step back, but you have to confront it. You have to confront it in a, in a legal government type of way, but you still have to do it as a church. And that's the solution. Just support your church, support your pastor. I mean, as long as they're strong and brave, and they're teaching from the word. And Catholics, please. I don't know what's going on with the Catholic Church as far as that goes, but there seems to be a building up of it. But I don't know, the Pope and all that's kind of, the Vatican is kind of making me nervous, how centralized that power is, and who's in control there. Because there's a huge, right? I think there's a huge gay underpinning there, even in the Vatican. I don't know. Anyway, in the game of life, man, we got to get the church going. And my little thing here is to get the church going in the RPG culture, which I think is a big thing. I think the RPG culture is a big pagan feeding trough. Like feeding paganism. So that's kind of why that's where I kind of think I should be yelling out in the wilderness. Anyway, in the game of life, let's roll holy dice.